Hey guys, Helen Hartsmith here again from the Heart of the Witch's Path YouTube channel. Hope you're having a great day. I am, even though it's a little cold and snowy, but it's January in mid-Michigan. Anyhow, so I'm here with my Capricorn lesson video for my Master Spell series. So, can you believe it? This month and next month is the Aquarius lesson / video, and that will be it for this year. I am almost done with my Temple of Witchcraft studies. I can't believe, I knew it would come eventually, but it's kind of crazy that it's this close to being done. Whew. So that being said, I'm going to mention something now, and I'll try to remember to do it in the next video too, or maybe do a separate video. I don't know. But I have found that I really enjoyed this year of working on a spell, working spell work towards a bigger purpose. And as you know, if you've been following these videos, this year I've been working on my health and becoming a healthier person, doing spell work and mundane work and things of that nature. So I like this. And I did some divination for 2018, and I was toying with the idea of, do I want to continue doing this from year to year with different purposes, different intents. And I think I would like to do that. So if you guys are interested in continuing on in that journey with me, like if you like what I'm doing here, then maybe we could continue on with, 2018. I know that we're in January, but I decided that I would kind of keep with this schedule that I've been working with my school, because I didn't want to try to overlap. So that being said, if you want to know or if you want to continue on with something like that, please comment in the description or in the comments below and let me know what you're thinking. So here we are with Capricorn. So let's take a look at the correspondences for this particular month. So you are a Capricorn if you are born between the dates of December 22nd and January 19th. Saturn is the planet that rules over Capricorn. And so planetary properties that are associated with Saturn are thrift, obstacles, and restriction. So those are kind of some themes to work with for this particular month. Now, Capricorn is an earth sign, and it's also cardinal in its qualities. So now when we look at, that's kind of interesting. So when we look at the stones that are associated with Capricorn, we're looking at onyx, garnet, and jet. For plants, we are looking at nightshade, snowdrop, and rue. I keep checking to make sure that I'm looking at the correct box here. And then finally, colors that are associated with Capricorn are black, gray, violet, and brown. So there's our correspondences for Capricorn. Stick that over there. We're done with that. So what did I do for spell work this month? Well, I actually got pulled in a very specific direction. If you follow me on Instagram, then you may have seen a book that I received as a Yule present that I was super excited to get. The roomie got this for me, and I'm so very, very excited. So this book is The Magical Art of Crafting Charm Bags, 100 Mystical Formulas for Success, Love, Wealth, and Well-Being. And this is by, I'm going to try to pronounce it and hope that I do so correctly. So this is Elohim Lifar. I think that might be correct. Elohim and I actually follow each other on Instagram. So if you're seeing this, hi. I first saw this book because of Instagram, and I felt an immediate draw to it, that I wanted it, I had to have it. I've never really done a lot of charm bag magic. I've done a little bit, but not a lot. And so I'm really glad to be able to have this particular book. I know that Ember Honey Raven has recently done a review of this book, and I will put a link below so that you can hear her thoughts. I have not completed reading this book just yet, but I think this is one that I will definitely share my thoughts on once I'm done with that. So kind of keep an eye out for that. So I was very much drawn to doing a charm bag for this month. And I figured that since Capricorn is an earth sign, then that's kind of a really good month to work charm magic, because in charms you normally find things like stones and plants, and well, that all comes from the earth, so it made sense to me. So what I did was I made a charm for good health, to promote good health. So here is my charm bag. It's big. It's bigger than any other charm bag that I've made before, but that's okay. And this is something that I'm carrying around with me. And so you might ask, well, Helen, what did you put in your charm bag? Well, I have a list here to tell you so as that I don't forget. So I used white because for me, well, I guess maybe I should start with the blue. For me, I use blue for healing. I attribute blue to health and healing, among other things, but I look at blue for health and healing. So that's why I have this blue ribbon that's tying the bag together. I did not have blue material, so I opted to go with white because white is for power, and white is kind of an all-purpose color that you can kind of go to. So inside here, I don't normally share the details of my spells, but this is kind of what this video is about, and I made that commitment to share, so I'm sharing. So in here, I have a piece of black agate that, among other things, promotes good health. I also have mullein and sage, and I guess I should say that the black agate that's in here is a stone that I actually found in a flower bed here at our house, that when we were cleaning things out, I found it, and the stone was very interesting to me, and so I kept it, and I did some research, and as best as I can tell, it's black agate. And so among other things, it corresponds with good health. So that's why I put it in here. I have to say right now that this charm is probably one of the most personal spells that I've probably ever done. I feel like I have had a hand in many of the things that have gone into this charm bag. So as I said, a mullein and sage. Mullein is a plant that I have long associated on a personal level with healing because of its healing properties. Mullein is really good for lung issues, and I think I've talked about that in other videos. And so the mullein that's in here is actually mullein that I wildcrafted. I drove around, found mullein plants that I asked permission of, and gathered a select number, a low number so as not to harm the plant, of leaves, brought them home, cleaned them, and dried them. So I feel pretty good about that. Also in here is sage, and this is sage that I actually grew myself. Oh, and so I have my little jars. So I have other forms of sage, but this is sage that I actually grew. And then this is my jar of mullein that I wildcrafted. And of course, sage is really good for protection. So kind of good to have a little protection in there along with promoting good health. But sage is also used in health. And so those were like all that I was going to put in here. But as I was going through my stones that I have on hand, I came across a piece of obsidian. And if you remember my oh gosh, I can't remember what month it was, but let me see if I can look really quickly. Maybe Scorpio. No, I think it was older than that. Anyhow, I had not been having like a good time with things, and so for that particular month I carried a piece of obsidian with me, and found out after the great month that I had, that obsidian, among other things, is really good for supercharging your work and your magic. And so I did it affected my entire outlook of the year and my performance that month, both magically and mundanely, that I thought, well, psh, let's add obsidian in here and let's take her home. You know what I'm saying? So there's obsidian in here as well. So I gathered my things and I wrote some words of power, and I won't go into the words of power here, but if you're interested in crafting a charm like this and are interested in what words of power that I used, then I would ask that you message me either by email or something along those lines, and I'll email or message that to you. I think I'm kind of picky when it comes to words of power, and I feel like if you share it too broadly, then you kind of weaken it. So I don't have a problem sharing it. I just don't want to put it like super out there. So if you're interested in those words of power, then please let me know, and I will gladly share them with you. So that is my spell work that I am working this month. Now, as far as an update and how things are going and all that jazz, well, I haven't noticed a significant amount of weight loss. So let me just kind of start there. I was actually sick between Christmas and New Year. I had vacation time that I was using up at that point, and I started getting sick, not feeling well on Christmas Day. And so luckily, I was only sick for about a week. So it was like that week that I was off of work, unfortunately. So I didn't get everything done that I had wanted to accomplish for that week, but that's okay because I was able to kind of stay home. And actually, I feel like being sick for only a week is amazing for me because I believe that I had an undocumented case of pneumonia quite a few years ago. And I think that it affected my lungs in such a way that whenever I got sick, it would inevitably go to my chest and I'd hork and all that kind of stuff. And so I had a little bit of coughing this time, but I took my meds. I was able to stay home and stay in from the cold. And so I feel like I got better a lot quicker. Now, if that has to do with all the magic that I've been working this year or the fact that I took care of myself, in my positive thinking, I like to think it's a little bit of both. So yay that. And I've continued with my Fitbit, counting my steps. The roomie and I have been getting back to the gym, so that's a great thing. And a cousin of mine turned me on to this 100-day, I don't even know what it's called, so I'm probably going to murder it. Rumi, what's it called?
It's the 2018 Gold Challenge. So there's lots of you can there's 1,000 miles or
so it's the 2018, what is it? Gold Challenge.
On ilovetorun.com.
On ilovetorun.com. I don't know if y'all heard her off camera or not, but so it's kind of like this challenge. So you could it's for walkers or runners, and I'm still, yes, it's like, middle January, and so I'm still trying to figure things out, but you can commit to running or walking like 1,000 miles in a year, 1,500 miles in a year, or 2,000 miles in a year. Or I did, because mommy's not a runner. I did the commitment to do 100 days of exercise. So I'm not logging my steps or the miles that I make on my on a regular day with my Fitbit, even though it calculates that for me. I'm only putting in my workouts. So when I go on the treadmill, what did I do that way? So I'm doing it that way to count my 100 days. Now, the site is supposed to sync up with your device, like if you have a Fitbit or some other things, but I haven't quite figured that out. So if you're interested, I will try to remember to put a link down to kind of check that out. It's never too late to sign up. There's more than 100 days in a year, so you can sign up whenever. Woohoo! So that's kind of where I'm at with the mundane stuff. I feel really good. So we went to a Cirque du Soleil show over the weekend, and our seats, there were like stairs to get to them. And normally, like when my knees aren't feeling that great, I only go upstairs like one at a time. You know what I'm saying? I was like, boom, 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 boom. So that's like a noticeable thumbs up thing for me and my health. I did gain a little bit of weight from being sick, but that's like coming back off. So that's why I said earlier, there isn't like a significant weight loss, but I'm staying under my 400. So, okay. And we're just trying to shed that off. So yeah, and I'm staying off the scales, but 1 day a week. I only get on the scale once or the roomie yells at me. So I mean, I'm feeling really good, and there's habits that I've developed in this past year that are going to keep going. I know that I'm not going to lose all the weight that I want in a year, that it didn't go on in a year. It's not going to come off in a year, but I'm active and I'm staying active. And that's like the biggest thing for me, to kind of to not go higher. Let's go lower, and let's be happy and healthy. So that's it for this video. I hope that you liked or learned something. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're following this series, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button. We'd like to have you come back. I'm always talking with Kathy, and we've got some plans for some other content that are coming up. So keep an eye out for those types of things. And I just really love to have you here. So thanks for subscribing if you have already. Let's see what else. Please comment below. Or if you want to comment by email, you can hit me up at heartofthewitchespath@yahoo.com. And don't forget to check out the Instagram. So thanks for walking the path for a little while with me. Until next time, blessed be.